What is the best way to solve a Rubik's Cube?
You see, I've solved a couple of these individually, and
Mhm.
there actually is a formula so that when you do a certain number of uh, left, and then you change the dimension, and then you do it again. Basically, there is a set formula that, as long as you follow the pattern, you will always be able to solve it, no matter how it's randomized. And it means maybe you like trying to look at it and solve it at the same time, and that's a perfectly valid way of doing it, just trying to look at and solve it. But if you want to accomplish it, then you should look up the formula of the number of steps to be able to complete it.
That's certainly one solution, but we pride ourselves on giving people options. Steve,
So, fun fact, Rubik's Cubes actually don't have any glue in them. So you can just pull all the little square parts off and then rearrange them back on the little centerpiece that allows them to spin. And personally, that's how I've solved every Rubik's Cube that I've owned.
makes sense. Daniel,
Yeah, so I think we're asking the wrong question here. The thing is that you don't really need to solve the Rubik's Cube as long as you invalidate the Rubik's Cube as a concept. So you find this Mr. Rubik's or whoever they are, you show up at their house, and you beat the shit out of them with one of their own Rubik's Cubes. You make sure that they rue the day they ever invented it, so that way you don't even need to solve it to begin with. They pull them all off the shelves. Nobody knows what Rubik's Cubes are in about, I don't know, 3 days after this happens. So then you can go home knowing that you're a little bit smarter.
yes, absolutely. Alex,
Distribution. You can't have too much peanut butter. You can't have too much jelly. You need to have just the right amount so that it matches the amount of bread that you have. Once you have all of those things together, they are perfectly solved and you're ready to eat.
thank you. And I look forward to seeing everyone posting their solved Rubik's Cubes online. Let's jump into our next question. Let's see. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Ah, this is a good one. Thank you, Skittlebean Fire Suggestion, as always. How do you close an open wound, panel? Alex?
I'm sorry, close and open what now?
Close an open wound.
Closed an open wound. Ah, yes. Now, it's important. It depends a lot on the wound, first of all. So if it is a gash, what you want to do is make sure that the gash is cleaned out first. You can usually do this best by pouring water into it or even forcibly squeezing a little bit of water into it. Worst case scenario, you're going to need to pack the gash and then sort of use that to clean it. But you want to apply pressure. And you want it to be able to let the blood clot. That's important because you're going to need to allow the body to heal itself to a certain extent. Once you do that, I definitely definitely find some kind of medical attention because they're going to have the best procedure in terms of being able to give you stitches if needed or be able to dress the wound properly so that it doesn't get infected.
Sounds complicated. Max?
So you asked me a question. Here's my question for you. Are you a wimp? Because if you're not, take a stapler, pop it open, put it on the wound, just slam it down. Probably 3 or 4. It'll close it right up. And then all done.
Thank you, Max. Steve?
So, personally, my favorite way to close an open wound is a way that both closes it and disinfects it at the same time. So I would prefer to cauterize the wound over an open flame. Usually I try to get it about a 360 and leave the wound there for about half an hour. Get it nice and crispy, nice and brown. Maybe put some olives and vinegar on it just to let it set. And then when you take it out, it's wonderful.
Wow, not for the faint of heart. Dan?
Officer, I've never seen this woman before in my life. No, she's not my wife. I have no idea who she is. Look, if we're gonna get through this together, you have to look me in the eyes and call me a man.
Yep, and there you go. That's how you treat an open wound. And moving on to our next question. Yes, this is a marvelous question from a marvelous suggester. And this is, what's a good gift to give Santa?
What's a good gift to give Santa? Honestly, what would be a good gift to give him is probably just a year off. You know, he's working around the year. I know it's specifically December 25th. We think, or the day before that he's working, but I mean, preparing, I don't know, billions of toys and presents for everybody, that's a lot of work. I mean, maybe we just take Christmas off one year. That we could get each other gifts. Maybe, I don't know, mix it up.
I think we could all use a break. Good point. Alex.
Look, Santa's job is to give gifts, not to get them. I think at most what you can give Santa is a nice thank you letter, but really beyond that, you shouldn't be thanking him for what he gets paid to do. And a lot of people think that he doesn't get paid to do it, but let's be real. Enough cookies to last 10,000 lifetimes is probably plenty payment.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It's literally his job. Max.
Well, Santa's been giving us a lot of gifts. I know that. I'm pretty sure he's been giving the minds of our children a little book called The Communist Manifesto. This guy thinks that he can come around and all people should get gifts on this day for no price. Yeah, I have a gift for Santa Claus. Why don't he learn what free market means? It's the gift of knowledge, and actually stop trying to run our economy into the ground.
That makes sense. He does wear a lot of red. And finally, this is Steve.
What? I think Babylon fell because the people were greedy and they nuked the city.
Steve, see me after class. See me after class, Steve. We're going to talk about this.
Okay.
And moving into our final question, let's really make sure we can give someone the advice they desperately need. Let's see. Oh, just a classic here. Well, thank you, Gumboots, for subscribing. Glad to have you here.
Gumboots.
We're answering some advice. The next question is, what should I eat for dinner? A classic. Something we all have to wrestle with on a daily basis. Steve, what should they eat for dinner?
Well, if you've run out of fun recipes to cook for yourself for dinner, I would suggest going over to the HelloFresh website. And as you may know, they're a meal delivery service where they send you ingredients and recipes that you can cook. But their business model is actually only to send you the groceries. So you can go and get the recipes for free and then cook them yourself.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Dan.
I always say that eating out and taking out food is always the sort of the best option. You know, if someone else is making a living making food, you should make them make the food for you. It's very light on the wallet. It doesn't cost that much. And it's very easy. Just you know, support your local pizza place and order, I don't know, 3 meals from them every day.
Makes sense. Very efficient. Very efficient. And Alex.
Now, with this springtime and a lot of people being indoors more than usual, it's very important to be efficient in not only how you take care of yourself, but how you take care of your home. The best way to do that is to go around the floors, especially in the corners where the walls meet the floor, and start licking up all of the dust. By eating the dust bunnies, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Not only are you giving yourself a meal, but now you're also cleaning your house.
Dust, it's free food. Makes sense. And finally, Max, why don't you bring us home? What's for dinner?
Yeah, one time I tried to go to the grocery store, and I was walking, and it was really cold out, but there was this person who like had a lot of layers on, and I tried to ask them for like layers because it was cold, and they started running away, and I figured that they wanted me to follow them, so I started chasing after them, and then the police showed up, and that certainly wasn't the first night I spent in jail, and wait, what was the question?
Very good. And I hope that it provides some nice advice for all of our viewers at home.
This way?
Wow. Wow. What? No, it was just a great video.
Oh yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah.
Hey, if you liked it, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to our channel for more.
And if you want to see us live, go to twitch.tv/showandtelllive. We're there every Tuesday and Friday, baby.
And be sure to check out our social media. We've got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, have fun on the internet. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Or do.